What's better for Aero, these or Canards?
These are better than Canards because Canards are also a vortex generator and they create Newtonian downforce. Now, when I'm talking about Newtonian, like you have Bernoulli's effect downforce is when you have like a airfoil that's driving a pressure differential top and bottom. So that's, pretty efficient downforce because it's like an upside down airplane wing. But when you have a big old canard like canted at an angle, that's more Newtonian, like the air is blowing on the surface and kind of brute forcing downforce, but it's inefficient, makes a lot of drag. It makes a hell of a vortex. So it depends on the canards. If you see those like little ones that aren't angled that much, those are more like vortex generators,
I see.
and they can be pretty effective at that.
Yeah.
But when you see those big, gigantic, like looking like rocket fins tilted at a
Scuba
45
cars,
degree.
like Voltex crazy Canards,
Yeah,
those?
like I personally don't like those, and I think they're inefficient and create their lift to drag ratios not so great. Aero really isn't intuitive because one thing I've always warned Dean about is don't get too crazy because it's not intuitive, and there's certain rules you can apply that you will get a gain, but there's always like even when you play it safe, like he has on this card, there's always like a 30 or 40% uncertainty almost. And if you're going for like a competitive time attack car with no analytical tools, I mean, you might be making it worse. Even though you have big, impressive wings and canards and all that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's not intuitive. Did you put Venturis in your splitter?
Like the tunnels?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. They're right about here. The side, well, the tire's right here. It stops right here, and then they're like in the inside. You can feel it.
Just to the inside. Oh yeah, it's right there. So those actually make quite a bit of a difference too. Like they can gain you another like 50 pounds of downforce at 100 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
And-
They look like diffusers.
Yeah, they are like a mini
Like little
diffuser.
ramps, yeah.
And the way they work is they're trading velocity for pressure. Now, when you have high velocity, according to Bernoulli's principle, like in this area here, you're running a low pressure, but then when you hit the diffuser, you're trading pressure for velocity. So you're reducing the velocity, so you actually create a lower pressure right in the area of the opening of the diffuser. They call that the throat. So it generates more. And what this can also do is reduce the amount of drag that your tires make because you're slowing down the air into the front of the wheel wells and you're kind of filling some of that volume so that can reduce some of your drag and give you a little bit more front downforce. But, every once in a while, like this isn't intuitive. It could have the opposite effect, but the way you did it, it's pretty safe. One of the things when you're adding diffusers to your splitter or the back of the car, you don't want the diffuser to be angled more than 10 to 12 degrees. That's the perfectly safe zone, because when you get more than that, there's a chance that the air will separate from the diffuser roof so much and it'll become turbulent, like the diffuser will stall and it won't give you any more downforce and just make drag.
Is that just a flat plane diffuser, or is it like, does that also apply to like ramps?
Well, like a ramp curved one, you can get more angle. It's not predictable. Like I can tell you if you have 10 to 12 degrees, most certainly it's going to help. But if it's more than that, maybe it will, maybe it won't. And the way you would test it is with strings or a flow viz.
Yeah.
So if the strings are going curly or going backwards, it's turbulent, the airflow is separating and you're making drag. Or if the flow viz is all curlicued back there and the lines aren't straight out the back, you're getting separation and you're making drag and you're not making downforce. So that's like, like a poor man's way of doing it without CFD. But a curved one, like gradually increases the diffusion angle, so you're less likely to separate. But like I said, it's not intuitive.
So you stick it in like a wind tunnel or something?
Yeah,
Test it that way?
but that's thousands and thousands of bucks. Wind
people
tunnel's always the best, but
People ask me about that all the time. They're like, why don't you just take your car and put it in a wind tunnel and show us that it works? I'm like, I don't have that budget.
Well, and the other thing too is like people think, oh, you can just get a big old fan and then get a smoke wand and shows how it works. But that really doesn't work because the air coming off a fan is swirling. And that's why wind tunnels have all kinds of flow strainers and all that to condition the airflow so it's linear. So a giant ass fan doesn't really show you what's going on either.